6 different world champions and 7 different winners in the first 7 races, showcasing the unpredictability of the season. The unexpected winners added excitement to what could be considered one of the most thrilling F1 Grand Prix seasons ever witnessed. The 2012 season provided numerous awe-inspiring and jaw-dropping moments, making it a spectacle for fans. Get ready to relive this unforgettable season as I take you through each race, one exhilarating event at a time. So, fasten your seatbelts and prepare to dive into the greatest Formula One season of all time. The action began in Australia, where McLaren, despite a lackluster performance in 2011, emerged with renewed energy. Jenson Button secured his 3rd Australian Grand Prix victory, closely followed by defending champion Sebastian Vettel. Meanwhile, Lewis Hamilton, starting from pole position, secured 3rd place. McLaren's strong performance surprised many, with Button unexpectedly leading the charge. However, the storyline shifted in Malaysia as rain poured down, washing away McLaren's hopes due to a problematic pit stop that left Hamilton struggling. Yet, amidst the rain, Fernando Alonso showcased his expertise in wet conditions, steering his supposedly sluggish Ferrari to victory, snatching it from McLaren's grasp. This raised questions about McLaren's performance in different conditions, prompting speculation about their capabilities beyond sunny races. Next, we head to China, where Nico Rosberg brought Mercedes their first win since returning to F1, showcasing his dominance. McLaren, however, bounced back strongly with Button and Hamilton securing 2nd and 3rd places respectively, proving they were still contenders. Vettel responded to the pressure with a victory in Bahrain, but concerns about his Red Bull's performance arose. The 2012 Spanish Grand Prix stands out as a moment when everything seemed aligned, with a captivating qualifying session setting the stage. Despite expectations, Fernando Alonso didn't find familiar rivals like Lewis Hamilton or Vettel ahead of him on the grid. Instead, it was the unexpected presence of Pastor Maldonado that stirred up the excitement. As the race began, Alonso wasted no time, swiftly maneuvering past Maldonado on the first corner, even as Maldonado attempted to defend his position by pushing Alonso onto the grass. For quite some time, it was Alonso leading the race from the front. However, no matter how skillfully Alonso drove, or how intensely he raced, Maldonado appeared to match his pace effortlessly. Maldonado seemed to stick to Alonso like a persistent nuisance, matching his speed lap after lap. Then on lap 25, Williams made a strategic move that had everyone on the edge of their seats. They executed a flawless undercut pit stop, equipping Maldonado with fresh tires and allowing him to rejoin the race in clean air. Ferrari responded by bringing Alonso in for his own set of fresh tires, but it was too late. Alonso exited the pits just as Maldonado swiftly passed him, setting the fastest lap of the race. Maldonado's relentless performance, coupled with the efforts of everyone in the Williams garage, resulted in a substantial 7-second gap between Maldonado and Alonso on the track. As Maldonado skillfully kept Alonso at bay throughout the 3rd stint of the race, it seemed like the battle was far from over for the Venezuelan. Tension mounted as a crucial moment unfolded during Maldonado's 2nd and final pit stop. A slow tire change cost him valuable time, allowing Alonso to narrow the gap after his own pit stop. The situation intensified as a 3rd contender entered the fray. The Lotus Renault ahead of Maldonado showed no signs of pitting soon, slowing Maldonado's pace and giving Alonso a chance to catch up. If Maldonado aimed to create history, he needed to make the decisive move himself. With Kimi Raikkonen in the mix, one of the fastest drivers on the track, and Alonso rapidly closing in, Maldonado seized the opportunity. With the assistance of DRS, he closed the gap to Raikkonen and executed a breathtaking maneuver, surging past him at turn 1 to reclaim his lead. Maldonado crossed the finish line after 66 thrilling laps. Maldonado's victory, with a remarkable 3.1 second lead, marked an incredible achievement, ending Williams' 8-year Grand Prix drought. It was a perfect tribute to team owner Frank Williams on his 70th birthday. Now let's examine the standings after the tumultuous start to the season. Sebastian Vettel and Fernando Alonso found themselves uncomfortably close, tied at the top with 61 points each, creating a thrilling rivalry. Hamilton trailed closely behind with 53 points, while Kimi Raikkonen and Romain Grosjean from Lotus were in pursuit with 49 and 48 points respectively. Then came Monaco, a circuit synonymous with royalty, setting the stage for Mark Webber's 2nd win in 3 years. However, it was Alonso who emerged as the sole leader of the World Championship after the checkered flag fell. With impeccable tire management and strategic Ferrari maneuvers, he outsmarted his rivals, particularly Hamilton, during pit stops. Vettel, recovering from a qualifying setback, made a strong comeback, securing fourth place. The top four drivers were separated by less than 2 seconds, delivering yet another classic Monaco Grand Prix straight from the F1 God's kitchen. Let's zoom in on round 7 in Canada, where a nail-biting battle unfolded with Hamilton leading the pack. Both Alonso and Vettel took a bold gamble, opting for just one pit stop while McLaren played it safe. Hamilton effortlessly surged past both drivers on fresh rubber, leaving them scratching their heads. Red Bull eventually conceded and brought Vettel in for a second stop, but Ferrari's decision not to do the same cost them dearly. Vettel's comedic overtake on Alonso for fourth place added a humorous twist to the race. Round 8 transported us to Valencia, a pivotal moment in Alonso's championship pursuit. Starting from pole, Vettel appeared unstoppable, leading with such dominance that he faced no traffic after pitting. Meanwhile, Alonso, starting from 11th, swiftly climbed to 8th, and capitalized on a safety car period to advance to 3rd within striking distance of Vettel. However, Vettel's unfortunate retirement due to mechanical issues handed Alonso a golden opportunity, and he seized it, clinching a glorious victory in front of his ecstatic home crowd. Valencia reverberated with the roar of celebration, painted red in honor of Fernando Alonso's triumph. In round 9 of the championship, the grid convened at Silverstone, where the weather cast a gloomy shadow over the proceedings. It was here that Alonso spotted an opportunity to compensate for Ferrari's qualifying struggles. Snagging the team's first pole since 2010, he came tantalizingly close to consecutive victories employing a reverse tire strategy. Battling against Mark Webber's relentless pursuit, Alonso managed to lead until the final 3 laps when the faster Red Bull overtook him. Nonetheless, he successfully held off Vettel's RB8, extending his points lead over the reigning champion to an impressive 29. Moving on to Germany, Alonso once again showcased his prowess in the rain, securing pole position. This time, Vettel shared the front row with him, setting the stage for an intense showdown. However, Jenson Button disrupted the narrative, seizing second place from Vettel during a pit stop. The top 3 drivers engaged in a fierce battle, with Alonso strategically keeping just out of DRS range. In a last-ditch effort to reclaim his position, Vettel overtook Button on the final lap, but his move was deemed illegal by race stewards. A time penalty demoted Vettel to 5th place, further widening Alonso's lead over him. Moving on to round 11 in Hungary, the final race before the summer break, the battle for victory became an exclusive affair between Hamilton and the resurgent McLaren, along with the 2 Lotuses. Surprisingly, neither Vettel nor Alonso made it onto the podium, leaving fans puzzled. Ferrari's performance raised concerns, yet Alonso managed to extend his points lead to a significant 40 points. The halfway point standings painted a grim picture for the defending champion. Alonso led with 164 points, followed by Webber with 124, Vettel with 122, Hamilton with 117, and Raikkonen with 116. The second half of the season promised improvement, and Vettel's comeback gained momentum, particularly after a first corner pileup triggered by Romain Grosjean at Spa. While Alonso fell victim to the chaos, Vettel seized the opportunity to charge forward and claim second place. It was a stroke of luck for Vettel, but he had to demonstrate his determination to secure a podium spot. Round 13 transported us to the legendary circuit of Monza, where Tifosi were ready to rally behind their beloved Ferrari for a victory. However, Formula One rarely unfolds so straightforwardly. Both Alonso and Vettel encountered their own challenges. Vettel's RB8 suffered yet another mechanical failure, leaving him off the pace and out of contention for a podium finish. Meanwhile, Alonso's frustration peaked when a broken anti-roll bar in Q3 sent him tumbling down to 10th on the grid. Despite driving with unmatched determination, Alonso could only salvage 3rd place, leaving him with a sense of missed opportunity. Round 14 took us to the dazzling streets of Singapore, where the night lights illuminated a thrilling championship battle. Hamilton led the pack, with Vettel and Alonso close behind. However, Red Bull's mastermind, Adrian Newey, unleashed a secret weapon in Singapore, a double DRS device and a new front wing. With the RB8 back in business, Vettel seized the opportunity when Hamilton encountered gearbox issues, earning his second win of the season. Alonso, putting up a valiant effort, managed to salvage third place. Despite Alonso's commendable performance, one obstacle remained difficult to overcome: Vettel's unwavering consistency. As Vettel gained momentum, the rest of the grid faced the daunting challenge of keeping pace. In round 15 at Suzuka, Alonso's championship hopes took a critical blow. Vettel, equipped with his double DRS, secured pole position, while Alonso found himself caught in an unwanted tangle with Raikkonen at the first corner. The collision proved costly for Alonso, as Vettel, with a clear track ahead, never looked back. With back-to-back wins, Vettel closed the gap, blowing the title race wide open. In Korea, the championship tides began to shift as Alonso watched Vettel storm to victory yet again, leaving his teammate Weber in the dust. Despite Alonso's valiant efforts, he had to settle for third place once more. The driver's standings after the Korean GP showed Vettel leading with 215 points, followed closely by Alonso with 209. In round 17 in India, the qualifying grid remained largely unchanged, with the Red Bull duo dominating the front row. However, on race day, Alonso, the crafty Spaniard, managed to split the Red Bulls and secure a second-place finish. Yet Vettel's winning streak persisted, further extending his advantage over Alonso. With each race, Alonso saw his championship hopes slipping away, inch by inch. As they headed into the final three races, Vettel led Alonso by a mere 13 points. While many in the paddock believed Vettel had the championship secured, Alonso faced the daunting task of keeping his car intact while striving for a miraculous comeback. However, the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix turned out to be anything but straightforward. Vettel once again showcased his qualifying prowess, securing second place on the starting grid, while Alonso found himself starting from sixth. Yet, a hiccup from Red Bull changed the game. They failed to comply with post-qualifying rules, resulting in Vettel being penalized and forced to start from the pit lane instead of beside pole-sitter Hamilton. This unexpected turn of events handed Alonso a golden opportunity to close the 13-point gap and reclaim his lead. Hamilton's McLaren suffered a power failure early in the race, propelling Raikkonen into contention for his first victory of the comeback season. Alonso climbed to second place at the start, but Vettel, starting from the back, charged through the ranks like a true underdog. Despite a rough season, Vettel's determination paid off as he crossed the finish line in third place, cutting his lead to just 10 points. However, the true hero of the day was Kimi Raikkonen, who stole everyone's thunder with a brilliant victory. His victory was not only impressive on the track, but also provided a moment of humor during a team radio conversation. Now, we reach round 19, the United States Grand Prix at the Circuit of the Americas. With a 10-point lead, Vettel had a chance to secure the crown mathematically. Qualifying favored Vettel, who secured pole position, while Alonso struggled to 8th place. In a controversial move, Ferrari decided to break the seal on Felipe Massa's gearbox, promoting Alonso to 7th. This strategy paid off as Alonso surged through the pack, finishing third after Webber's unfortunate retirement. Meanwhile, Vettel shockingly missed out on the win to Lewis Hamilton. It seemed as though Vettel had allowed Hamilton to pass rather than risk a did not finish at that stage of the season. With this result, Alonso headed into the final race trailing by 13 points, indicating that the championship battle was far from over. In Sao Paulo, there were still more surprises in store. As the cars lined up on the grid, the tension was palpable. When the 5 lights went out, little did we know that the first corner would set the stage for a heart-pounding finale. Vettel's race got off to a rocky start as he slipped back due to a poor start. And to make matters worse, Bruno Senna collided with him, sending him into a spin. The damage was so severe that his team deemed it unrepairable. Fate seemed especially cruel as Vettel also faced speed issues on the straights and lost communication with his pit crew. It was a nightmare unfolding before his eyes. Meanwhile, Alonso fought his way up from 7th on the grid, setting himself up for a potential championship victory. But amidst the rain, safety cars, and strategic pit stops, Vettel showcased his resilience. Against all odds, he fought his way back through the field, finishing in a remarkable 6th place. It was a performance that left everyone in awe. Alonso, with the help of his teammate Massa, secured a well-deserved second place. Their teamwork was nothing short of brilliant. However, in the end, it proved to be too little. Too late for Alonso. It was déjà vu for him, experiencing the bitter taste of defeat to Vettel for the second time in just 3 years in the Drivers' World Championship. With only 3 points separating them, Vettel emerged as the 3-time world champion, making history as the youngest to achieve this feat. And that's a wrap. That's how the curtain fell on this heart-pounding season of Formula One. If you want to see more content like this, let me know by leaving a like and subscribing to the channel. And don't forget to check out some of the other videos on my channel. They're seriously good if I don't say so myself.